Hello and welcome to another edition of Scruffy Get in the Kitchen. This week we're making flour. It's cheap enough to buy, but sometimes you want a nice fresh loaf. And to start with, you need 500 grams of flour. It's you need special bread flour for this. It's really strong flour apparently. You can't use ordinary stuff. Then you need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. One and a half teaspoons of salt if it'll come out. That's one. And roughly half. And just mix that in. Stir in your salt. And 1 teaspoon of sugar. 1 teaspoon of sugar. Stir that in. Seven grams of yeast. Find it. Then you stir your yeast into your flour along with your sugar. Stir that in nicely. Then you want 15 grams of butter. 15 grams of butter. And with this you're making as your basic rubbed in method. I'll just rub this in. Until you get a mixture of breadcrumbs. Yeah, what you want is a mixture of fine breadcrumbs, just like that. It's your usual basic rubbed in method. Feels really nice, this strong flour. First time I've ever made bread actually, so we're on a bit of a learning curve here. Let's have a look. 300 millilitres, one part boiling to 2 parts cold, 1 part boiling to 2 parts cold. What you want to do next is you want to add your water, and according to this, it's 300 millilitres, 1 part boiling to 2 parts cold. That's what the recipe says, so we'll just partially add that in now and just mix it up with a tablespoon and see what happens. And what you want to do is you want to mix it into a pliable dough. Keep gradually adding your water. I didn't have out to measure flat water out in, so I've had to use my flask. That's 500 millilitres. Should be more than enough to get this going. And the fun bit comes when you've got to knead it. Bit of elbow grease needed here, I think. Tell you what, I'll get a cement mixer out for this, I think. Get the old cement mixer out. Sometimes it makes it a bit harder because it sticks to blades. Not exactly getting off to the best of starts. Okay, that should do it. You just want a nice stiff dough mixture with this. Work round. Just so it all binds together and you've got it independent. You need to just get it independent, that bowl. Here's what we've got. Right, now we're on to the bit where we're actually rolling it out. What you need to do here is get this camera positioned. You need to put flour on the surface to roll it out. Make sure your surface is all nice and floured, so knead it rather than roll it. So as you see, we've got plenty of flour on the surface for kneading dough. Now I'll show you how to do it. Now it's independent at bowl, and it's in a nice blob. You just want to gently knead it, and this apparently takes about 10 minutes. and you just want to use a squashing action with your fingers. Squash it into the middle, work it from round and squash it into the middle, and that's how you need it. Right, after about 10 minutes of incessant kneading, our dough should be just about ready. It's putting loaf tin. There's several ways you can knead dough. You can fold it in like that. Use a folding action, hand over hand, like that. Then press it out with your fingers to get it nice and tight and elasticy. That's what you want. Sometimes you've got to add a bit of water, but you don't have to overdo it with that, just when it's needed. Right, that should do it. Recommends about 10 minutes on recipe, but bugger that. Right, apparently you're supposed to leave this to rise in your baking tin for about 30 to 35 minutes, so that's what we'll do. Of course, as always, grease our baking tin. Always pre-grease your baking tin no matter what you put in it. Sure it's well greased. There you go, it's now in our baking tin. Ideally what you want to do with this is leave it in an air-conditioned room or an area room for about 30 to 35 minutes, so that's what we'll do now. Incidentally, you're supposed to cover this when you leave it. So it rises to roughly twice its size according to this recipe. So, and after all that, it's gas mark 6 for 20